average is not invited. Not if you're holding your company off-site in Las Vegas. We aren't on friendly terms with the bare minimum, and unenthusiastic is uninvited. Las Vegas's creative energy and world-class hospitality want to bring your company off-site to crazy new heights. That's why fear-based leadership is afraid of Vegas, and boring won't be there, but it will be watching the meeting recordings later. Plan for the extraordinary at vegasmeansbusiness.com.
It impacted 19,000 workers. Well, that equated to a $9 million settlement.
Dang.
So
It's a big hit. Welcome back, folks. It's episode 131 and 42 as we talk about California pay stubs and what is necessary and required on these stubs. But before we be stubbing, before we get into all that, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Good. How about you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right, bro. Yeah,
That's
man.
good, bro.
As we at the time of this recording, we are the night before Election Day.
But by the time you hear this, it would
already be. Yeah, we will already have our new president-elect. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
God bless us all.
Yep.
What's going on otherwise, man?
Nothing. I'm good, bro. I'm good. No complaints.
Just day by day, bro. Honestly, that's it. Holiday season is upon us.
I'm hoping that nothing gets too wild and crazy with the election.
At all. My daughter's worried about that also. I had to calm her down the other day, and it's sad. I was talking to a colleague of ours that we know, and I don't want to put him on blast like that, but he was saying the same thing. He was just like, yo, it's scary that these conversations. I was telling him the same thing. Like, hey, I had to talk to my daughter about this, that. He said, that's crazy. You got to do that. And he actually said that because I had posted a TikTok about some stuff. He was like, yo, you really spoke to me about, like, it really hit home. And he was, you know what I mean? So just thought-provoking for everyone. But other than that, man, like, I'm looking forward to the holiday season. I'm looking forward to my girl Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
She's ready. Got to break out the song. I love it.
They got to stretch the vocals.
Yep. What else? And that's really it, man. That's really it. Just getting ready. You know?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's get into it then. You got some pay news for us. Start us off with a good article here.
We're talking about pay stubs in California. I did some research and found out if there's any cases out there, because there are fees and penalties that employers can accrue if they're not careful. And there were two substantial ones that did occur in the state of California, actually. And this article that I have by lawsuitlegit.com talks about a couple of different things, and it gives these two examples. So the first one was Verizon. Verizon had a $15 million settlement because of pay stub violations.
What?
Yeah. So it was in 2014 that happened.
2014. Dang.
Yeah. It was a huge hit financially. It may have impacted their reputation beyond the monetary loss. Some people may say, hey, I want to work there for them.
Maybe in California, because this is the first time I hear it.
And it may have given them a bad reputation with the regulatory services.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, we got to watch this when that happens.
But you know, the bad thing about California, sidebar, is that lawyers, because they're so employee-centric, lawyers just look for companies to, they're actively looking, basically like how, what's that?
I think that's everywhere, but I get what you're saying. Probably in California, it's more prevalent, right? Like they're chomping at the bit to like.
Yes, exactly right. I think it made me think of like how some lawyers chase ambulance, like how they talk about that ambulance chases or whatever. So that's how I picture them in Cali. But yeah. And what was the other one?
The other one was a temp agency, right? This temp agency failed to provide accurate itemized wage statements, which led to a class action lawsuit. It impacted 19,000 workers. Well, that equated to a $9 million settlement.
Dang.
So
It's a
these,
big hit.
yeah, these violations are serious. So you got to make sure you're doing the right thing in the state of California.
Wow. Yeah,
So what
for
do you got
real.
for us now?
Mine's a quick one. Just researching employee issues and whatnot, and I came across an article for the founder and CEO of Raising Cane's. It's a chicken tender franchise, and I haven't been there yet. I got to check it out next time I'm in GA. They're not in Florida yet. But anywho, he had talked about hiring practices and what he looks for when he's hiring employees and things like that. And one of the things that is a red flag for him is when they're more into title and control versus teamwork. So during an interview, if he realizes that you're all about the title and who do I rule over, you know what I mean? And that's what it is about for some folks, right? It's about the title, it's about that status, it's about a power, and that's a turnoff for him when he's hiring, right?
Wow.
And the good, right? What he does look for is, as opposed to that characteristic, he says that when people are invested in the collective success, it makes a huge difference. And that's easy to say. Hey, why did you take this job? Oh, wow, I really want to impact change. And I love working with people and serving people, as opposed to, hey, yeah, I want to be a regional manager now. And I've managed 20 people. Now I want to go to 100 or 50. Then it's, okay. It's about different things.
Yeah, you're right. You just said it. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's different goals for different people. Like, and you may go through those different phases in your life. When you start out and you're maybe you're new into a career, I don't necessarily think that it matters your age, because you can get into a new career even when you're older and be like headhunting and really going after it to try to get that thing. And I like to make a correction, sir. You do have Raising Cane's in Florida.
Where is it?
There's one in Pompano Beach.
No way.
Yes, off of North Federal Highway.
No way.
That's they're up
Yo,
there.
my son done led me wrong. Is it because remember we were talking about Dave's Hot Chicken? And all right, because he said that my son was like, there's nothing here in Florida. There's no Raising Cane. So Dave's Hot Chicken got us talking about Raising Cane's. Dang, I'm going to have to take him maybe, next weekend. We have to go to Raising Cane's.
Yep. There is one. And then I know there's a Dave's Hot Chicken somewhere. Like,
oh, no, we went to Dave's Hot Chicken. Yeah, there's one down here in South Florida now. Apparently it was only in Central Florida. It just came down to South Florida. The first time we went, there was a line around a block type.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's Raising Cane's all over the place down there, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Pompano Beach. There's one in...
That's what happens when you listen.
Near Miami. There's two down near Miami. One near Delray, Boca area.
See? Thank you very much.
Yes,
Fact
sir.
check. All right. Cool. Let's pay the bills. Time to pay the bills. Shout out to TrakGO. TrakGO has introduced an innovative new feature designed to simplify time tracking for both exempt and non-exempt employees. This feature aligns with the recent changes in the FLSA standard, or the FLSA
Please, sir.
This feature aligns with the recent changes in the Fair Labor Standards Act for employees.
All right. So by automatically calculating standard 40-hour work weeks and accurately determining overtime when necessary, TrakGO ensures precise employee time while maintaining accurate PTO balances. Those are two good words we like in payroll, right?
For real.
Accurate and precise.
Accurate and precise words. And on time.
Yeah, on time. Yes, especially on time. Additionally, the system can identify those instances where non-exempt employees may not have reached that 40-hour threshold. So to learn more, please contact TrakGO at 888-321-9922, or you can go visit www.timetrakgo.com. That is TIMETRAK go.com. Let's go.
Let's go.
And Brian,
I was just checking with them too to see how the webinar was that we were promoting last week. They said they had a great turnout. Good stuff, folks. Yeah, if you want to learn more about TrakGO, hit up their website. always running good promotions, always have good things going. Their customer service is just second to none. Yeah, check them out. All right, let's get into the main topic as we continue the conversation about California. And I think as we continue to frame states, right? Like it's right as I like thinking about, okay, what's important in the state, right? Earnings, deductions, taxes. And for California is pay stub because they're really strict about how their pay stub is, all the things that are on their pay stub. And as Walt highlighted with the news, they're hitting companies that violate it. So if you're an employee in California, listen up. Walt's got some gems for you.
Yeah, so what I want you to think about in terms of the fees is, I don't know if you remember who Comey the Clown was from Living Color.
I just saw a clip the other day, yes.
Hi, I'm Stephen Rothberg.
And I'm Jeanette Leeds.
And together, we're the co-hosts of the High Volume Hiring Podcast.
Are you involved in hiring dozens or even hundreds of employees a year? If so, you know that the typical sourcing tools, tactics, and strategies, they just don't scale.
Yeah. Our bi-weekly podcast features news, tips, case studies, and interviews with the world's leading experts about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to high volume hiring.
Make sure to subscribe today.
Hope we don't play that. That's how
we don't play that.
Yeah, that's how California with these pay stub.
Yes, as a great
getting it right. All right, so here we're going to talk about some key points and takeaways that you as the employee may want to consider or you should know, right? And even if you're a payroll pro or HR pro or an employer listening to this, you could take away some things from this as well. California law mandates that each stub must contain specific information, including an employee's full name, the last 4 digits of their social or their employee ID, the pay period dates, gross to net earnings. That can include PTO, whatever those hours are coded, OT, all those different things need to be itemized and broken out.
Yep.
Total hours worked, even for salary folks, and even for those non-exempt employees as well. So you want to make sure that you have the applicable hourly rates in total hours worked at each rate. So notice how I said at each rate. You have split shifts or anything like that.
What do you call shift differentials?
Shift differentials.
Yep. Premium rates.
Yep.
Doing different things. Yep.
Yep. Those different things and stuff you want to look at. Those deductions, right? Those things listed, like Brian started discussing, saying benefits, taxes. So those are different things you want to have listed there. Paid sick leave. The balance needs to be on there when applicable, right? So those are things you want to make sure that you do, and you want to make sure that you're aware of those things as the employee and the payroll pro or HR pro. You want to make sure that you give easy access to pay stubs. So employees must receive a pay stub either electronically with easy access to a printable version, or they must receive it in paper form. So they elect. Sometimes a lot of companies nowadays, they give the option to where their employee can choose to do it electronically to get it in a paper form. So this ensures that they have full access to payment details, which is protected under California's strict wage and hour laws. So, and you also want to make sure that you understand that you have a right to accurate and timely pay information. So that means employees in the state of California have the right to inspect their pay stubs and to ensure their accuracy. Look, and not just in California, you should do this no matter where you reside. We encourage you to really take ownership of your pay, right?
Yes. Don't be afraid to ask them the questions. Yeah.
It's the last one before I hand it off and Brian gets into some comparisons with other states and get into his thing. Employees have the right to inspect their pay stubs, like I said, and if you have any discrepancies arise, employees are encouraged in the state of California to address them promptly. So misrepresentations on pay stubs can lead to costly penalties for employers and may impact pay transparency. Think about Verizon, that $15 million lawsuit, that temp agency, $9 million, man, that's crazy.
Yep. This last one's for you too.
Okay. Unlike California, many states only require partial wage information on pay stubs. For instance, Texas and Florida only mandate that the gross/net earnings appear without itemized deduction or deductions or hourly details. California's detailed approach underscores its commitment to wage transparency and employee rights.
See, and that's a great call out. I love that the comparison was for Texas and Florida, because we've been saying in the show, that's the difference between, yes, you don't pay income tax in Texas and Florida, and there's 8 or 9 other states that you don't pay income tax in, but you lose that advocacy, that governing body, that employee centricity. Why can't I say the word anymore? Employee centric government, right? That's protecting your rights. Florida, we don't pay income tax, but guess what? We don't have all these rules either, because there's no staff, there's no people actually doing that, right? Actually going out and policing the employers and making sure that they're doing it and making sure they're compliant. So that's the trade-off. So I think that was a good one. Again, that section was for our employees mainly. Those are the things you need to think about. Now, for our payrollers and all the folks that are responsible to actually get those paychecks out the door in whatever fashion, right? And there is some overlap here, of course. But for the employers, here are the things that you should know. The covered employers, meaning the employers that have to abide by these rules, are all employers except local government organizations, school districts, and non-for-profit schools that employ students, right? Weird exceptions, but those are the exceptions in California. Yeah, the non-for-profit schools that employ students is like, what? But okay, but this isn't the reason. You got to go look up the exceptions, right? If you're not a local government or school district or non-for-profit school, then you pretty much have to abide by the law. Now, payments can be made in Cali, paycheck, cash, a paper check, or direct deposit, of course. But it also goes as far as to say anything that what is the method that can be fully cashed on demand at the business location in the state.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to something because I'm just thinking about like the covered employers, how it said all employers except, and this kind of threw me for a loop, except for some local government organizations. I'm like, wait, why would I understand it's a little bit different because I know the state is mandating it.
Yeah.
But like, wouldn't you want the local government to be like transparent with the stuff? That makes it seem shady to me.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Yep. But honestly, that's how it is at the federal level too. Right? It'll be like, oh, but it works both ways, because then sometimes they do a law and it's like only the federal government is impacted by it and not all businesses. So it works both ways, but yes, good call out. What threw me off was, and this speaks to how old these laws are, right? That they're so old, because it said basically it's okay, you can get paid in cash, check, direct deposit, or anything that's on demand that you can solve at the location. Hey, I'm going to give you this card, and this is the pay card. You got to come back and hand this card in for pay. It's crazy. Anywho, the check, in that payment method, the check must show the business's name and address. And if it's drawn on a bank, again, how old these rules are, right? Because I had to read this several times to understand what it said. If it's drawn on the bank name and address, don't have to be on the check, but it must be able to get cashed at any branch of that bank. Weird, right? It's just, So
How does that work?
it has, exactly. And I get it that you don't have to put the bank name on it or whatever, but anywho. And then now here's some of the overlapping information. Walt shares some of this stuff. What has to be on the pay statement, the gross and net wages.
It's always good to give a good reminder.
Absolutely. No, especially because again, we're repeating for our payroll pros, right?
Mhm.
We're taking notes and we just, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. The gross and net wages, the applicable hours and rates in effect during the pay period, the number of hours worked by each employee and their each hourly rate, number of piece rate units earned and any applicable piece rates, right? You may get a different rate for doing widget A than widget B. Then it's got to say that. Deductions, pay period start and end dates, employee's name, employee, only the last four of the social, this keywords, only the last four of the social,
Mhm.
or another employee ID other than the social security number, right? You
Yep.
cannot
Mhm.
put, point being, you cannot put somebody's whole social on their check.
Yep.
Employer's name and address.
This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com.
And then overtime hours may be itemized as corrections on the regular pay stub with identified dates of the pay period for any corrections. Meaning, I think what that means is if they owe you overtime from another pay period, it still has to be like, right? And this is something that I was always a stickler with, or still am a stickler with retro, right?
Mhm.
If you do retro hours, I like to break it out. Hey, here's retro hours regular, retro hours OT.
Mhm.
Some folks just dump it in all
Retro.
retro, but you
Mhm.
really can't tell, especially if, because then you got to argue. Then I feel
You
like it
gotta
creates more
explain
work.
it. You gotta
Yeah,
explain it anyway, right? Just
because what if the employee challenges you? You didn't
yeah,
pay me all my OT for this year.
that's what I was saying. You gotta explain it to
You
the
gotta,
employer anyway. Might as well
yeah,
break it out nicely.
make
Be
it easy
before
for yourself as the
loyal.
payroll professional and the organization to just break this stuff out.
Yeah.
And then Walt said the paid sick leave or paid time off, and not only what you've used, but your current balance has to show.
Mhm.
And believe me, employees will hold you to this in Cali. I remember Cali employees being like, "Hey, where is it all?
Mhm.
Where's my balance? My balance is not right. It's not on here. Blah blah blah."
Yep.
Don't think that they don't know and they're not paying attention. Some of them are very savvy. All of us Cali employees need to be, but so keep that in mind. And then the last, oh, a couple more points. Sorry. Farm labor contractors. If you are a farm labor contractor, you must include the name and address of the legal entity that secured the employer's services on the farm labor's pay statement. And then payment for mandated break time and other non-productive time must be listed separately on piece rate workers' pay statement. I don't know what all that means, but if this applies to you, you need to follow up and look that up. I know what the
Mhm.
mandated break time is. I get that. But like the non-productive time, that was interesting to me
Yeah.
because you're a piece worker, you get paid by a piece, and then they got to so look that up. If this applies to you as a payroller, go look it up, go follow
Yeah.
up. This is all, did I include it in here? Oh no. This is all on the California's websites and stuff, like it's in there. And now, real quick, the penalties that are applicable is, let's see, a payment method violation. If you violated the pay method laws, it's
Mhm.
$100 civil penalty for the first violation, 200 for each additional violation, plus 25% of the amount due. Yep. Pay statement violation. So that was pay method violation. This is pay statement violations, is penalty of either actual damages or $50 for the first violation, $100 per employee for each additional violation up to $4,000, plus costs and reasonable attorney's fees.
Wow.
So that's where it racks up, because it's like penalty of either actual damages or the $50, then $100 per employee up to $4,000. So imagine if you have thousands and thousands of employees times $4,000, plus attorney's fees. That's why they got hit for the 9 and 15 million on those companies.
They add up over time, man.
It adds up. And then a separate section is failure to itemize deductions and provide statements is a misdemeanor with a fine up to $1,000 or a year in jail. My God.
That's crazy.
Excuse me, making me choke. A civil penalty, $250 per employee for the first violation, unless due to clerical error or mistake. You got to be able to prove that, folks. But that's why documentation is a pillar of payroll. And transparency, we got to update it and make radical transparency a pillar of payroll, because if you report your error and you document your errors fearlessly, meaning, and then this is not every environment that you could probably do it, because I'm sure not all employees feel this comfortable, but it's the right way to do it. You, as an employer, you really want to get your staff to a point where, please, let's report errors. Let's be transparent. One, because you're fixing your system. You'll get better at fixing. And two, you have the documentation to back yourselves up later to say, oh, what happened here? Oh, gosh, that was an error we made. But look, here's all the backup. Here's what we did to correct it. Here's boom. Here's all the backup, the corrective action, the results, all that good stuff. And then, under this same category, $1,000 per employee for each additional violation. So $250 for the first one, but $1,000 for each additional per employee. So they're giving you that time to correct it. We warned you. But if you don't fix it, we coming back really hard.
Give me a trigger me, man. Reminded me of those. I know it's different. It reminded me of the bank fees that we used to get back in the day.
Dude, you can't say bank fees. I immediately think of Bank of America. Sorry, Bank of America. Y'all killed me back in the day.
Wells Fargo got me.
But not for nothing, and we've talked about this many times, those predatory fees back then is why they changed the law. It won't happen again the same way. But still, they would kill. Oh, God. They made so much money on people like us. And what I mean by people like us, broke folks back in the day, young and broke and ignorant. And then they also have a right to correct section that I found in the law. As employers can correct violations of providing pay period dates and employers' legal entity information before facing civil action. Okay. Employee must send a written complaint by certified mail to the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, and the employer, that actually should have been up in the employee section. And then Department of Labor, Workforce Development will notify the employer, and the employer has 30 days to correct the issue if notified, and 33 days to correct the issue if Department of Labor does not notify.
Either way, you got it correct.
Yeah, either way, you got to correct it. But it's so interesting. And look, if you're an employee in Cali, call up a lawyer. I'm sure they will get it going for free, because those lawyers love some business violations out there. So yeah, man, as we wrap it up, I see we got a fun little this or that for the holiday.
Yeah. We haven't done it in a while now. We haven't had it.
Usually we should do it. Yeah, we should do it. It's fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think we both have to give answers, right?
Yeah, we both do.
Both should give answers. Okay, I want to go first. I want to ask you first. Okay. A Christmas Story or Home Alone?
Yeah, this one was easy for me, man.
Which was
Home Alone for me.
Okay,
Christmas Story. Go ahead. No, go ahead and say your answer, then we'll talk about why.
Mine is neither. Die Hard.
Die Hard for Christmas. Okay. I get it. Because Home Alone was like growing up. I'm thinking about being a kid, growing up, and that's what we would watch and stuff like that. So between those two, if I had to make a choice, it would be them. I don't watch either now, but yeah, I
watch all of them now.
No, I haven't had it. No, man.
I challenge this.
I watch sports. I watch basketball.
No. It's a must. This season, you must watch them all. Do all the Christmas movies. The Grinch, the new Grinch is bomb. The new animated Grinch is awesome. You got to watch them all this season. No
Yeah,
excuses.
okay, gotcha, man, gotcha.
All right, on your in-house date nights, you know what I mean? Your movie nights,
Yep.
and chill.
I'll be cooking it up. Yep.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do it and watch the movies. All right, second one is rum cake or coquito or eggnog for the non-Latinos.
Not first. So for me, I'm gonna have to go with coquito. And
All
this one.
right,
Avoid that.
no doubt.
Rum cake, you got it. You can't do a store-bought rum cake. And if you don't do a store-bought rum cake, you got to make sure that you get it from a place or a person that you know it's on point. Because sometimes, man, it's
Uh-huh.
could be
Yeah,
hit or
it's
miss, bro.
it agreed. See, that's how I feel about coquito too. That I don't get it usually from outside the house. Although Bacardi has a great bottled coquito. Don't tell my
Mhm.
mom I said that or any
Look
of
at
the
you.
grandmas. But it's funny because so rum cake. So for me, both.
Okay.
Both, yes, because we do the coquito, and my wife has I don't know if she still knows the person that does the rum cake homemade, bro, and I think she soaks it in rum after it's baked.
Wow.
Yes,
Not level.
kids cannot eat this cake. It's no alcohol is burned off in the baking process. This is
Yeah.
it got rum in this cake, dripping with a
Level.
shot in each piece.
Oh, wow, bro.
Yes. Okay, last one. Turkey or ham?
I'm gonna go turkey. What
You're
about
gonna go
you?
turkey. Yeah,
It's perfect.
pretty much neither.
Yeah.
Pernil which is
Mhm.
a roast pork shoulder. And it's so funny because we were just talking about, oh wait, no, I had one more for you.
Okay, what was that?
Pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
They're both good, but I always got to go with the sweet potato.
You always go sweet potato, okay.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
man?
I do both, but I think I lean toward pumpkin.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually like pecan pie. I do all pies. Holidays, I'll be trying to get
It's my fifth.
all the pies.
Hey, this is William Tincup, Work to Fun. Hey, listen, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Inside the C-Suite, the podcast. It's a look into the journey of how one goes from high school, college, whatever, all the way to the C-Suite, all the ups and downs, failures, successes, all that stuff. Give it a listen. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, no.
As you can see, that's why I got the fat neck.
Oh, gosh. Stop it.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, man. Oh, I was gonna say we were just talking about it. We had, like turkey ends up being such a waste because and we keep trying to get smaller and smaller on the turkey. But no, we don't eat the turkey. We're on our pernil, we're on our get them ham, and we're eating other things. Pasteles is a big part of our
Yeah,
holiday
pasteles,
season,
sure.
so we eat pastel. We eat everything but turkey, especially for Thanksgiving. So his wifey was like, "How about no turkey this year?" And we agree, no turkey, because we just not
turkey fans.
not big turkey fans. Yeah, I kind of like the sandwich the day after
It's good,
a
bro.
turkey sandwich as opposed to turkey. And so who knows? One year I remember we did I did boneless turkey breasts, and it was people was like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. All right. I do have one more for you that
All
I
right,
didn't
go,
write down
shoot.
here. Are you a stuffing or dressing person?
Stuffing. I didn't even know what dressing was until I moved to the South. And I was like, dressing? Yeah, sure. We got Italian, we got French, we got this. Like, what? I was like, what's dressing? Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
No, I think stuffing is
Oh.
what the people actually put inside the bird. Because sometimes people put the stuffing in the bird. They put
Yeah,
it inside
we
the
do that.
bird. And then the dressing is like when they do it on the side. Yeah, they
We
would
call
just
it the same thing.
like cornbread dressing. Like they,
Yes.
I'm gonna do it with cornbread, but she won't stuff the
Yes.
bird with it. She'll just bake it by itself on the side.
My mom does both, but it's the
Okay.
same thing. She'll stuff it, same mixture. She'll put cornbread sausage, stuff it, and then also make a tray of it on the side because it's never enough. That I eat that and
It's the same to me. Because I think the one in the bird gets a little wet, too wet for me. Pepper the way.
Fair. It is a little bit moister. Yeah, it's fair. I'll take that. All right, man. So before we close it out, I wanted to ask, what are some good perks that employers can give, employees can get during the holidays, right? Because, for instance, once upon a time, everybody got a free turkey.
I never got a free turkey.
Because I think we're too young for it. I remember my mom always getting a free turkey. Like, she depended on it. And then at some point, I think it was like employees started complaining about getting sick or the bad, right? And that's why they stopped the actual literal turkey. And then some employees would try to do the Butterball gift certificate or gift certificates. But then even that becomes a problem because technically, and we're talking payroll here, if you get a gift certificate for $25 or more, that should be added on to your earnings for the year and taxed.
Technically, yeah.
Technically. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, folks. But so then it's like, what do employers do?
If you have the budget for it, I've always liked receiving a holiday bonus. I was very real as an employee, was guiding stuff during the holidays. And look, a holiday bonus could be $50, $100, $250, whatever. It's going to get taxed at that bonus rate and stuff like that. So you're going to potentially pay the supplemental.
Maybe potentially. Like Thank you for saying potentially.
Right? Look, but I'd rather give you some extra money. That's going to go towards something that I need or something for the holidays, right? So for me, I feel like more people may appreciate that. Look, there's some companies I work for where they didn't do any of that. And they just say, hey, early release day.
Oh, I'll take that. Right? I'll take that. Only because more recently, you think about the cash register, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if it has to be earnings to the employee, the employer, it has to incur more costs for that. It's if you can avoid it being an earning to the employee, then the employer actually saves money. I do, of course. Cash is king. I'll take cash, but I would take days off, half days. Shoot, work from home, because our business, our world, we should all have the ability to work from home. It was an interesting question. What payrollers out there, what scenario would they actually have to be on site? I'm curious. But if you work in an industry where you can actually work from home, you know what? Hey, let your employees work from home those weeks, especially parents. Kids are off the week of Thanksgiving. Kids are off the week of Christmas. It's a big help for them to, have that time home. I'll work, but hey, let me work from home.
Yep.
So I like that, the half days or early release. I was going to say, look, and I'm not opposed to a good party either. A good holiday party, good meals, maybe some free drinks, something like that. I'm not opposed to that at all.
No, company sponsored or like
company sponsored.
Potluck. Okay.
No, oh God, no. Thanks for saying that. No potluck, people. No potlucks. I'm not doing potlucks.
That could be an episode in itself there, sir.
Yes, you're right. And we look, next Safe Talk, to potluck or not.
Yep.
Because we in the holiday season for 2 months, so we can cover it. Let's go. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, man, that was fun, man. Thanks for the episode, partner.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
Yeah, man. To the rest of y'all, have a great, safe holiday season. We're going to see you next week. Just getting everybody ready. Gear up. It's time, folks. It is the time of this recording. It is November 4th. The holiday season is upon us. Get your life together. Start planning. And if you plan to be broke, then hey, that's the plan. Make sure you avoid parties and make a plan. How you going to avoid?
As long as you're happy. That's all that matters.
Oh, heck yeah.
You can be broken and happy. And
I saw a post. I'm sure everybody has seen this. I did the budget. Looks like everybody's getting a hug this year.
Yeah. And a high five.
And a high up was true. Air 5.
Yep.
COVID still exists.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my. Wait. What? Okay, we got to save it for the potluck.
Yeah, right.
Let's save it for the
Thanks for
potluck.
having us on the
Oh,
podcast.
my God. All right, folks. We love you. Peace.
All right, peace.
Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you for being part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.